it. I told you that I would be, well, I didn't tell you very long ago, so, you know, if you're seeing this later, then that's all good. But I told you a little while ago that I was going to go live at 2, and here we are. It's 2 p.m. on the East Coast, and here we are. I'm going live. So this is totally last minute. This was not planned. This was not in my marketing calendar. It was not in my promotion calendar. But it kind of became apparent that I needed to do this yesterday for a few reasons. It was kind of just an obvious thing. Hey, Meg, nice to see you, or at least know you're here. It was an obvious thing. It came up too many times in one day for me to not do this, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Let me get my screens kind of set up here. You're not going to see it, but I just need my notes in front of me. Here's the deal. It's the end of the second quarter, right? End of Q2. We've got, you know, one more day, and then it's July 1st on Sunday. So today's basically the last traditional working day of Q2. And then we start Q3 on Sunday/Monday, right? And this is a really, really good time to audit yourself and your business and your life and just reevaluate, like, what am I doing here? What did I set out to do? What do I want to do in the next 90 days? All of those questions, okay? So at the end of this live, I'm going to show you where to get a resource. I've been using it in my business ever since I started my business, so almost 2 years ago. And I've been using it with my clients and sharing it with my audience since the beginning of this year. And now it's really to the point where I know that it breeds the results that I want it to for people. And so now I'm going to offer it to you, okay? So I'm going to give you that resource. And the resource is going to help you reflect on Q2, the last 90 days. And it's going to get you ready, kind of realign to your aspirations for the year. And then it's going to help you create space for those things that you want to come into your life in the next 90 days. Okay, so I'm going to give you that resource at the end, but first we have to do something else. Before anyone is ready to dive into that resource that I'm going to give you, I invite you to do this with me. I would love to do a JOY audit right now. A JOY audit, I'm going to tell you all about it, but a JOY audit is basically, you can do this on any piece of your life. Today we're going to focus on auditing your social media for joy. But basically you can do this with anything. All right, but we'll start with social media. And why? Why are we doing this today? So first of all, it's the middle of the year. It's the end of Q2 into Q3. And it's a really good time, again, like I said, to audit your stuff. Just like reevaluate. Find your center again. Reflect and aspire and move forward, okay? And this JOY audit thing, again, is something that I've done for a while and I've encouraged my clients to do for a while. I encourage my friends to do it all the time too. It came up in a friend conversation a couple days ago. But it's especially important for us entrepreneurs because to audit our social media, because social media flicks its flame into every corner of our lives. It is all the time. It's always, because we have to. Do we have to? No, but we often choose to show up on social media for our businesses, right? And so while social media can be a distraction, can be an asset, can be a liability, it can really get into someone's life when they don't even own a business. It's especially important for us entrepreneurs who not only use it personally but also professionally. It's a big deal. It hits every piece of us. And because it's so invasive into our lives, for good and for bad, it leads to burnout. Social media, I believe, and if you're being honest with yourself, I think you can also agree with this, that social media can be a main factor in your progression towards burnout. the big B word, like the worst B word ever is burnout. We don't want to get there. I don't want you to get there. I don't want to be there. I don't want any of my clients to get there because it's really hard to come out of burnout. So how does we have to know how social media does this to us to then know how to avoid it, to avoid burnout from social media and just burnout like overall that is fueled by social media. Here's what happens. Social media does two things to us. Number one, and this is for just humans in general and business owners. Number one, it hijacks our emotions, right? We can be having a great day, open up Instagram, shitty day, right? That can happen. It does. Kind of, it can happen frequently. It can happen every once in a while. Either way, social media can hijack your emotions. The other way that it can lead to burnout is that social media naturally asks us and expects us to aim for perfection. So not only are we trying to curate our lives to be perfect, but we're also trying to curate really, really perfect posts and content, right? And this is just not new, right? Hijacked emotions plus aiming for perfection, that leads to stress. Have that stressful cycle going for a solid 90 days and you're headed for burnout, okay? That's what's going on. Hijacked emotions, aiming for perfection. We got to get rid of that, okay? So how do we avoid burnout that's fueled by social media? I have two ways, okay? One way to avoid our emotions being hijacked, and another way to kind of reframe our minds around, do I need to show up perfectly here or do I not? Okay, so I've got two ways for you. The first one, we need to not have our emotions hijacked every time we open up a social media platform, okay? So how we're gonna do this is through a JOY audit, all right? Here is what a JOY audit is. It's super easy. All right, and we're gonna do this together, literally together. So if you're watching this with me, got a few other people on with us, we're gonna literally do a JOY audit together. We're gonna get started and then you're gonna do a little bit more later if you really wanna go for it. But I want you to grab your phone. Please grab your phone. It can't be more than an arm's length away. That's just how society is. It's okay, I'm not shaming you because mine was right here as well. Okay, so I want you to open up your phone. And I want you to open up the social media app that you most often use. For some of you, it'll be Facebook. For some of you, it'll be Instagram. For me, it's Instagram, okay? I want you to open it up, let it load, and I want you to scroll through your feed until you find a post that does not immediately evoke joy within you, okay? Just start scrolling. You might not have to go very far. You're going to scroll till you find something that just doesn't evoke joy. I got mine. I'm there. I'm here. Okay? It didn't take very long. I can almost guarantee you've probably found something as well. And you might be sitting there like, well, what does evoke joy mean? You guys, don't make it overcomplicated, okay? If you scroll through your feed and you tend to just like skip over this one person's post because it's just like, I just don't want to read that right now. I don't need that in my life. You're right, you don't need it in your life. Just unfollow them. You're not rejecting them as a person. You're simply rejecting their content right now because it's not helping. It's only leading you to burnout. And this is your feed. It's not theirs. Like, you have control over it, okay? So you scrolled enough to find a post that just doesn't evoke joy within you, right? Go ahead and unfollow that person. Done. That's it. Boom, you've started. You have started your JOY audit. That's as easy as it is, okay? And after this call, This is a great time to do it, again, because we're at the end of Q2, leaning into Q3. I like to do this every 90 days. I like to set my timer on my phone for 20 minutes. And for 20 minutes, I scroll as far as I can get down into my feed, and I unfollow as many people that, and I don't want to say unfollow people. I'm unfollowing accounts that don't immediately evoke joy within me. If I miss that person later on and I want to follow them again, fine. But I literally have never done that because I unfollow and I'm just like, oh, now I've created space to follow people that I actually enjoy and that evoke joy within me. And by curating your feed that way, your emotions won't be hijacked in a negative way as much. See how that works? Okay. And like, P.S., nobody knows that you unfollow them. So if you're worried that like, maybe it's like a family member and you're like, oh, like, but then I'm not going to follow them and they're going to think no, they're not. They're not even going to know. Like literally not even going to know. And if they're one of those crazies that has an app that shows them how many people unfollow, maybe you do that too. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, like, I don't really care if they see that I unfollow them. This is my feed. I have to be in control of what I can curate and what I bring into my life. Nobody else is going to do that for me, and nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself, okay? All right, so you started on your joy audit. To continue this and do it the way that I typically suggest doing it, set your timer on your phone for 20 minutes. Go through your feed as far as you can get in 20 minutes and just unfollow anybody that just doesn't immediately evoke joy within you. That's it. Done. Joy audit, done. Okay. Now, the other way that social media can often lead to burnout is that we're trying to create content for social media that it feels like it has to be perfect and perfectly created for our audience. And I want to just remind you, I've written about this before. I've shared about it before. I want to remind you that social media is so much less about the content that you share and so much more about the engagement that you give. All right? That's engagement is the key factor. If you are more focused on the content you're putting on social than on the engagement that you're providing to other people, you've got it backwards, okay? So just allow that mindset shift to sink in if that's not yet what you're doing. And know that, I know engagement can sometimes feel a little unnatural, a little awkward. Like, I don't know really where to start here. I don't want to come off fake and salesy as I like connect with people on social. If that's you, which I know it's super common, hold tight, because next week I'm going to show you how you can show up naturally. All right. I'm not going to get into it today because it's too much, but just remember, if you can just start to shift your brain and think, okay, social is more about engagement than content, you're already on the path, like a better feeling path. And then next week, we're going to talk a lot about how you can show up naturally, all right? Whether it be on social or anywhere for your business, okay? All right, so we started our joy audit. You can continue that with spending 20 minutes on it, or 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I don't care, like, or an hour, whatever you need to do to curate a feed that doesn't hijack your emotions and make them negative, all right? And then, like I said, I have a resource for you to help you finish out Q2 and start Q3 really strong, with intention, and with space for the things that you want to come into your life in Q3, okay? So I'm gonna let me grab the link here. It is a digital download. Oh, hey guys, I wasn't seeing your comments because I could only see my face, because then if I don't, I just get completely sidetracked. So Jack and Meg, thanks for commenting, and I'll probably, oh, and Jen, hey, yes, I love it. I love Jack. You're like, I love Jack's comment. Yeah, most of my family is unfollowed. Yeah, yeah. I won't say most, but there are definitely some key people. It's just, I just don't need that right now. So I just dropped that resource in the comments. It's called my quarterly review journal. The link will take you to my new shop page on Podia. The journal is 19 pages and it's just $10. This is what it's going to do. It's going to guide you through 3 phases of finishing Q2 and starting Q3. And not just now, but as long as you have this journal, you can save a new copy and you can use this the next time we go into a new quarter and forever. Literally, as long as you have this one, you can use it forever. You don't need to buy it every single time we have a new quarter. So what it's going to do is it's going to guide you through reflecting on the last 90 days. It's going to help you realign to what you aspire to do and be and feel this year, 2018. And then it's going to guide you through identifying how to create space for the things that you want to come into your life in the next 90 days. Okay? So it's reflect, aspire, create. Those are the 3 steps. And there are literally 19 pages of this journal that you can either just keep on your screen, you can type right into it, it's fillable, or you can print it out, write all over it, scribble all over it. And like I said, I've been using different versions of this since I started my business. I love journaling. I really feel like I can get some junk out of my head when I can write it down. And I've been working on this thing for over 2 years, just making it better for myself. And then at the beginning of 2018, I started sharing it with my coaching clients. Like, hey, this might help you as you're preparing for the new year. Because you can use it to reflect on an entire year or an entire decade, like whatever. It's just going to guide you through reflect, aspire, and create, no matter the timeline. But I shared it with them, got some really good feedback. At the end of Q1, I shared it with my larger audience just to see, made it a little bit better, just to see what kind of feedback I got. It was really positive. And so then I made it even better this time. And it's there in my shop. You can get it for $10 and you never have to buy it again. So that's kind of cool. So my hope is that you can download this, either print it out or keep it on your screen, and it will guide you through these steps so you can essentially close the chapter of Q2 and step confidently with intention into Q3. No matter what shit has happened in the last 90 days, 6 months, year, okay, we can reflect on all of that and we can move forward, right? And this will hopefully guide you through that process and keep you from just sitting down with a blank notebook and just being like, I know I have a lot of shit to get out of my head, but I don't even know where to start and I'm not really sure where to go from there. This will guide you through all of those steps. And this is literally the process I go through every 90 days. So there you go, you guys. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for doing the JOY audit with me. If you did do that with me here live and you found someone, an account that you're like, yeah, I don't really need to follow them anymore. That's awesome. Now, I would love, as we finish out this, it's going to come right about 20-minute live connection with you. If you happen to follow someone on your Instagram or Facebook, you can do Facebook too, that when you think of like an account that does evoke joy, whoever you think about first, you're like, yes, like I want to follow that person. Like I feel good about following that person regularly. I would love for you to share their Instagram handle in a comment. So as we audit and filter out some accounts that we just don't need to have in our lives, we can then explore accounts that we may want to bring into our feed, and again, continue to curate a really positive, joyful experience on our social media. And remember, all of our social media feeds are going to look different. So just because one account brings joy to someone else, it doesn't mean that's going to bring joy to you. But I think it's a good practice in just sharing joy and allowing people to be found that you think are doing cool and joyful things in the world. So throw that in a comment. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today, and I hope you have an awesome weekend, rest of your day, rest of your week, whenever you're watching this, whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.